Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video I take you through the roadmap from week to week, letting you know exactly what has changed. As always, a big thank you and shout out to all my patrons. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my channel even further, be sure to follow the link to my Patreon page below, it is very much appreciated. So the changes to the roadmap have arrived, and it's a pretty big update. There's still no 4.1 patch on the roadmap, so likelihood is this will drop after CitizenCon, as many of you expected. We will begin with 3.8 as normal, and I'll explain what has changed as we go along. There is a lot of progress, so things do look promising, but a lot of features have slipped a little bit back, but CIG do explain why. Now, kicking off with the locations, the Microtech planet is at 97% complete. It is almost done. 61 out of 63 tasks. One was removed, only 2 now needed to get it completed. The New Babbage exteriors, that is at 87%, so 85 out of 98 are done there. 19 were actually completed this last week, but 12 were added further, so now 13 still remain. The rest stop space station interior variations, the more I hear about these, the more excited I get. You will hear more about these rest stops tomorrow in Star Citizen Sunday, on Monday. This is at 87% for the rest stop interiors. 250 tasks out of 288 are done. They only completed 1 since last week, but they did add a further 3. 38 now remain for that. Now in gameplay, the restricted area rework, that is at 86%. 25 out of 29 are done. 4 were completed last week and only 4 now remain. The Annunciator panels, they are completed and will be present in so many ships in 3.8. I'm not exactly sure which ships though. The FPS close combat, so hand-to-hand combat, is at 73% complete. 11 out of 15 have been done. 3 of them were done last week. 4 more were added. Now only 4 remain, so they're very close to closing that one out. Now, vehicle look ahead camera. This is new. Basically, the camera will slightly look to the direction you're turning for both space and ground vehicles, and also look towards the target that you have selected, just keeping them in view and providing leveling when in atmosphere. This is at 66% complete. 6 out of 9 are done, 3 now remain. I'm not sure this will make too much sense really until we see how it works. It does sound like an okay idea, but with head tracking already working, I kind of don't know if this is going to be super subtle or even necessary. Vehicle third person camera is the next one. This provides a more immersive camera system for vehicles, ensuring the camera can orbit clearly, snap towards your movement direction, which will be very helpful, and react to collisions better. That is at 84%. 11 out of 13 are done there, just 2 remain. Now I like the idea of it snapping to the direction you're travelling in, so you don't completely mess up while you're admiring your ship. Now the inclusion of these 2 features is due to the removal of the cockpit experience feature, which was also slated for 3.8. CIG have said that they felt the camera updates will deliver more impactful improvements. The cockpit improvements will be removed and will appear once a new date is set for them. I was kind of looking forward to the cockpit improvements, but I suppose it's a step in the right direction nonetheless. Now also new to the roadmap is the Rescue the Hijacked 890 Jump mission. This is the mission we've been hearing about recently. It is 60% complete. 18 out of 30 tasks are done, so there's still 22 to go. This is kind of a bit hit or miss for me. I'm looking forward to trying it out in 3.8, of course, but I think once I've done it maybe 3-4 times, I'll be over it unless it's something really special, but we will see. The next one that's quite new is the Law Systems version 2 fines. So it's another new feature which is good. No longer will you be fined automatically and have to pay it straight away. In 3.8, whatever you owe in fines can be paid off at various terminals around the verse, meaning you've got to go to maybe the admin office in one of the landing zones, or maybe up at the space stations and go and physically pay for the ones that you want. It also has an update to hacking your crime stat. Instead of removing the whole crime stat in one go, you will have to remove individual infractions, which is better, and from the sounds of it, they're actually trying to develop the reputation and the law system a lot more, so that if you are hacking everything in one go, it looks suspicious. So if there's a particular infraction that you want to remove, then you'll have to hack that individually, which does sound good. But anyway, this law system fine update is at 75% complete. 9 out of 12 are done, 3 now remain. So this is much better, being able to decide whether you want to pay off your fines or not, and physically having to do so. I do like this. It will encourage people to be more careful, but I also think there needs to be some better understanding of who's to blame when people maybe ram you on the pad or you knock into something. Hopefully they will be able to fine-tune that so it's a bit more clear and accurate. Now the next feature is mining heads. This is also a new feature and it introduces 5 new mining lasers, each with different stats. Some of them will transfer power faster but induce a lot more instability into the rock, while others might make the mining more stable but transfer will be slower. Some lasers will reduce resistance levels of the rock, making them ideal for co-op gameplay, or they will be incredibly powerful. Now these new lasers are at 58% complete, 11 out of 19 are done, 8 tasks now remain. I'm really loving the direction mining is going in, but don't get me wrong, it was very cool from the offset, although it can be a little boring after a while, but I personally enjoy it, and I actually look forward to potentially leaving my mining laser firing away with very little input from me while I can chill out and just reap the rewards slowly but surely. Also, there's something pretty cool to be said for those who do love mining, having some more items to buy and collect. There has been some leaked information about the mining laser heads and consumables as well. They spoke a little while ago about mining consumables, which are sort of one-shot fail-safes. I will do a separate video sometime this next week, looking into what was leaked and letting you know exactly what's coming for the future of mining. Anyway, moving on to ships in 3.8, there was only one update, and it was the Anvil Carrack. It's still trudging away, so that's at 45% complete, 60 out of 132 are done. 3 were completed, 2 were removed, 72 still remain, so there is more progress. I'm in no doubt that this ship will make it in for 3.8, as it's needed for CitizenCon, so it kind of has to be. My concern, however, is more for the Cutlass Red. I feel this will likely slip into a 3.8.x patch, rather than the 3.9 patch, but only time will tell. I don't feel like the Cutlass Red will make it for the initial release of 3.8. The Prowler I'm quite confident will, and the Carrack I feel like it will, but that's just my opinion anyway. I'd love to know your thoughts on that in the comments below, guys. Now on to weapons. The Animus Missile Launcher is at 60% complete. 21 out of 35 tasks are done there. 1 was completed last week, only 14 now remain. The P6 LR Bearing Ballistic Sniper Rifle, very excited to see this and add it to my Bearing collection. That is at 58% complete. 17 out of 29 are done. 11 were actually done last week and only 12 remain now, so that's coming along super well. Now for core tech, Planet Tech version 4 is the new one on the list. It is improved tools, workflows, planet surface blending, object scattering and transitions, generation driven by climate data, and all of this will be included with Microtech. This is basically what we're going to be seeing on the panel at CitizenCon. 63% done, 19 out of 30 tasks are completed, 11 now remain. I'm hoping this will include weather. I have no reason to believe it won't. It has been mentioned that planetary ground fog and improved terrain shadows will not make it into 3.8 and have been removed from the roadmap temporarily. But work on these will continue. They've also removed the procedural asteroids, which became fairly legacy, they say, so basically the tasks were a little outdated. The graphics team will still work on this area, but it'll require further planning in Q1. Anyway, on to 3.9 and characters. Now, prison uniforms, this is the new one on the patch. This is the uniform that the incarcerated players will be wearing while serving their sentence. Pretty cool. There's more to do with prisons coming up. New locations, the new Babbage landing zone interior is at 37% complete. 19 out of 51 tasks are done. 11 have been added. 32 still remain, but this is 3.9. Now, the first slip from 3.8 to 3.9 are all of Microtech's moons. All 3 are now set for 3.9, and CIG have said the team who would be working on these moons are spending additional time polishing Planet Tech version 4, which personally I can understand that, and I'm happy for that to continue. Obviously, I would like the moons, but if it's a question of getting weather and a better looking planet with Microtech compared to 3 extra moons that are, just more locations, I'm happy with this. Now the next one is pretty exciting. It is Kletcher Automated Prisons. So this introduces the first prison type into the game. It's owned and operated by Cletcher Rehabilitation Facilities, which is a private corrections provider. This fully automated corrections site includes housing, security and work release opportunities to allow prisoners to be productive while paying their debt to society. So that's at 83% complete. 49 out of 59 tasks are done, so only 10 remain, which is very close. 100% we're going to see this at CitizenCon on the locked up panel. I'm super excited to see how this goes. Not sure how it's going to work with it being 100% automated. It does kind of cut down on the AI side of things, so they don't need to mess around creating AI to look after the prisoners. I'm sure there'll be other variations of prisons as well, and I'm super excited to see this in game. Now, onto AI. The FPS combat weapon types, which was slated for 3.8, has now slipped into 3.9, as the team who would be working on this has been pulled away to assist with AI perception for Squadron 42. They said that this card in particular requires more feedback and adjustment than originally anticipated. Now on to gameplay. A new card is Prison Missions, which includes various mission sets within the game prisons around the verse. 57 tasks are needed here, none of them have been completed yet. I would be interested to hear more about this at the CitizenCon to see what missions we could be taking part in. Not just illegal missions, working with other inmates, but also your day-to-day grind of serving your time. I'd be interested to see what they've got planned there. And also death animations, which was supposed to be in 3.8, is now in 3.9. And they say that although great progress has been made on this feature, and it's still on track to be completed for Q4, it will unfortunately miss the cut for the go, no-go review, which is their cut-off point meeting to determine whether something's going to make it or not. So, swiftly moving on to 4.0 before we finish. The location, Crusader. The planet says 0 out of 3 tasks remain. 1 was added, it was at 0 out of 2. So there's no real big change there, but I'm sure that'll be changed a lot before it starts getting worked on. For gameplay, the NPC healing, which was migrated from 3.9 to 4.0, it says this was moved because the team wanted to focus on improving the personal inner thought and personal interaction system before moving on to improving medpens, grenades, and throwing functionality. And I get that the personal inner thought system is very rudimentary and not all that great, so improving that and the interaction system first should not only affect healing and using medpens, but also all interactables in the game. So yes, I get that that's more important. Now also, player status system version 2, which goes beyond eating, drinking, and temperature. This was temporarily removed from the roadmap as CIG felt that Tier 2 of EVA functionality is more of a priority and will reappear after the new date has been decided. Not sure what EVA functionality version 2 or Tier 2 is, but hopefully we'll see that on the roadmap sometime soon if that's more of a priority. Anyway, personally, it is a shame that Microtech's moons have slipped, as I'd like to have seen them. The AI bartender and shopkeeper improvements have also been removed completely for now until they work out a better date for them, which is a bit of a shame because they have spent a lot of time working on them, doing the mocap. It seems such a shame that we would be so close to getting the bartender and then removing them. Not that it's all that important, so I'm not too fussed. But to me, although quite a bit has moved and been shifted off the roadmap or pushed back, the better quality of life and updates to current systems, making them more robust, more deeper, more involving, like with the reputation and the law fines system, the mining equipment, the planet tech updates, they're more exciting to me than the stuff that has been moved. Building out what we already have and reducing the bugs to them as well will make this current build feel so much better, so I'm quite happy with the roadmap changes. But with that said, that is the update for this week. There will not be a roadmap update next week as I'll be at CitizenCon, so whatever happens, I'll be pumping out videos as soon as I'm back, including a roadmap update depending on what we saw and covering the whole event as much as possible. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Follow me over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers. I will try and stream at the event as well so you can see what's happening. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.